We are creating conditions which, let's say, lead to close encounters between wildlife and people. And this is linked to many different aspects. And one of them is, for example, rampant deforestation is an important aspect. Uncontrolled expansion of agriculture is another one. Intensive farming, especially in relation to animal husbandry. Then also mining infrastructure development is quite important. Exploiting wild species in general, and especially the unregulated trade in wild animals. And of course, making the whole thing a pandemic is the explosive growth of global air travel. So these are the combination of all the factors which led to this large, let's say, pandemic, in this case of COVID-19. If you have a higher diversity, the chance for a jump over from one individual to the next one is much lower, and also the risk of creating this kind of pandemic situation is much lower. So it's in the end about keeping systems diverse. We can just reduce the probability that these things are happening. Of course, we have to look at things like, well, let's say there are three main blocks to work on. One is environmental regulations, to really fulfill regulations we have, the laws we have, which are quite good in many cases, but are not implemented. Then what we call the One Health approach, which means you have to take care of health as a kind of holistic approach. So the human health linked to environmental health, linked to the health of animals and plants. And of course, you have to improve health systems. It's very obvious in terms of, let's say, improving the accessibility of clinics, of medicines, later maybe vaccination is case, for especially the worst affected people.